Welcome to the How Did That Work Out podcast, where we share, explore, as well as inspect internally and externally a variety of our life situations as well as others, all for the purpose of answering how did that work out. I'm your host, Graham.
And I'm your host, Mike J.
Here we go. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Big guy. Love that guy.
So no, I like the idea of the Stoicism, and it's not something that I live every day by. It's something I strive toward, and I think that if we're gonna, as individuals, if we're gonna try to expand our level of being in the sense that we want to try to be better every day, that maybe we try to take something on that might help us. This does tie into frameworks, believe it or not. That gives us a framework that we still have plenty of room to maneuver within a framework, and the framework itself isn't even rigid, where if you go out of bounds, you're ruined. Yeah. So Stoicism, I started looking into it around the time I was getting very miserable at my previous employment. And I know I railed on that a lot in the previous episode, but I was looking for ways to cope, and I was almost desperate to find a way to cope. So I turned to writing. So I used to write, and I would actually post my things in what I would call a semi-anonymous blog. So, I would write my thoughts, and then I would actually spend time, polishing that, and then publishing it. And it was a way for me to get my thoughts out. And I'll turn to the Stoicism here in just a second, the Stoicism part of that. But what I found is that, okay, I'm writing for me, and it was great to get things out, and then I'd publish it. And the way it was this, it's this note-taking app. And so you can write notes down, but you can also publish your notes if you want. And then it's already pre-formatted, and it becomes a little blog. So I was doing this, publishing it out loud, if you will, but not really saying who I am or where I worked. I mean, I didn't want to do that, but it would help me with my observations of others and my observations of how I'm handling certain situations, and really go into my feelings and what do I really want from this or from that or whatever. And I thought, well, nobody's reading it, but that's okay. Right. And then I found it had a guest book feature. And so I was looking at the guest book, and I was getting so much positive feedback, thanking me for sharing myself, for chronicling my journey, and, encouraging me to, keep it up. You're going to find what works. You're going to find something better out there. Just praising, the approach and the attitude and everything. And I was just blown away. I was like, the support came out of nowhere, and I didn't think anybody was even reading this thing, right? But there were, obviously. So I started looking at writing as kind of a bridge into that Stoicism thing. Okay. And I was looking at Stoicism as maybe a way for me to build kind of a shield, okay, against the things that I feel were chipping away at me, wearing me down, and making me less of a better person. Okay. So if we're to look at Stoicism, like I've got a definition here, and it says, basically Stoicism was designed to help people live their best possible lives. It's a philosophy of life that maximizes positive emotions, reduces negative emotions, and helps individuals to hone their virtues of character. Okay, so there might be a lot in there, but basically what it's saying is that it challenges you to be a better person by focusing on the positive, even in a larger negative situation or those emotions. Be conscious of those negative emotions, okay, but how do you work through them so that those negative emotions might spawn, positive thoughts, positive feelings, okay, perhaps even a positive plan of action. So, just to read a little further, it says, at any moment, in any situation, and at any stage of life, Stoicism provides a framework for living well. It reminds people of what is truly important, providing practical strategies to get more of what's valuable. Stoicism was deliberately created to be understandable, actionable, and useful. Okay, so I liked it because it didn't require a lot of learning of how to be something. It didn't require, if you're going to do it right, you got to do it this way. Right. It's really based on a lot on the individual. Okay.
For more HDTWO content and the latest show updates, like and follow our Facebook page, HDTWO Show, Instagram account at HDTWO Show, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at HDTWO Show. Don't forget to tell your friends.